Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2017 and part 21 of Season 1 of our Renault career mode, and today we have the Japanese Grand Prix, I believe, and yeah, 3 podiums in a row. I cannot believe it. If you haven't seen the last episode, it's a pretty crazy one. Go and check it out now. We started dead last on the grid and ended up finishing second, and it was a brilliant race. It really was. We finally got the engine power update in. That was an extra 500 resource points, and we've also developed the quality control of the wind tunnel. But we've moved ahead of Toro Rosso. I think we were already ahead of them in the vehicle performance comparison. I think what we need to start working on is some downforce upgrades. Obviously Renault are the 4th best in the championship, but we're a long way behind those top 3 teams. So if we start chipping away at these, that would be very good. So I think that's going to be the next target. We're starting to get there with the powertrain. A few more and we'll be ahead of Red Bull, which would be really good, and starting to close in on Ferrari, which is what we want. So going into Season 2, that is exactly what the plan is. There's the state of the power units. I think that's going to be absolutely fine. And yeah, it should be a good weekend here in Japan. I'm pretty sure it is Japan this weekend. Yeah, welcome to Suzuka. So yeah, hopefully we'll do something good, and I don't think it'll be 4 podiums in a row, but hopefully we can score some more points and help us in the championship. And I'll now hand over to the story of qualifying. Qualifying in Japan was again largely irrelevant due to the volume of penalties applied to the field. It was interesting anyway though, and Carlos Sainz was the big shock of Q1, dropping out in 16th place with the 2 McLarens and the 2 Saubers. Into Q2, and Kevin Magnussen, after just scraping through Q1, managed to put in a great lap and got through to the top 10 for one of the first times this year really, and eventually did qualify in P10 and will start 3rd on the grid after all the penalties were applied. Into Q3, and Joe Hannard yet again was best of the rest in 7th place behind the Red Bulls, who yet again were in a league of their own in 5th and 6th. Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen fought hard for pole position, but it was eventually Valtteri Bottas that got pole position, Lewis Hamilton being in 3rd place, Felipe Massa qualifying a good 8th, with Nico Hulkenberg in 9th, and obviously Kevin Magnussen, previously mentioned, in 10th. But it all changed with all the penalties, and qualifying on pole, or starting on pole, was Kimi Raikkonen, the Finn, looking to get back into the championship. He'll start first with Joe Hannard in 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton, the highest challenger, in 6th. Let's hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson to take us through this very interesting Japanese Grand Prix.
And all this will be happening under the watchful eye of Anthony Davidson, who joins me for today's race. And assuming the weather holds, where do you expect to see the action unfolding today, Ant?
Well, most of the time, passing here is limited very much into the final chicane, or maybe down into turn 1 if you get a good run and some assistance from DRS. But if we're lucky, we might see a bit of bravery into the hairpin, a place that Kamui Kobayashi certainly made his own in the 2010 Grand Prix on his way to a very impressive 7th place. And as you say, Crofty, this is all assuming that the conditions hold out. We know how quickly the clouds can come in here at Suzuka, and if they do, all bets will be off.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Kimi Raikkonen starts today from pole position, and a Renault alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Magnussen, Alonso, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Hamilton, Ericsson, Wehrlein, Hulkenberg, and Carlos Sainz. Bottas, Vettel, Sergio Perez, and Kvyat, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Romain Grosjean, and Lance Stroll, Ocon, and Felipe Massa completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right guys, here we are down on the track. I've got a bit of a sore throat, a bit of a cold today, so apologies for the voice. This is our setup. Just in case you're wondering, P2 on the grid. We qualified something like P7, but most of the grid yet again having grid penalties. Somebody let us know down in the comments a few episodes ago and said get your power units early, because at the end of the season the AI will be getting grid penalties, and oh boy, they certainly have been. And we have a clear view in front of us, only Kimi Räikkönen on the left, and well, we've got the run down to the inside of turn 1. Hopefully we can do something special. Just a little bit of admin to tell you about. Obviously I'm back at uni this week full time, so it's going to be difficult to keep up with the schedule of the videos, particularly F1. F1 takes a lot of time to sort of record and put together, so I think we're only going to have 2 Formula 1 episodes a week. Monday and Friday is what I'm looking at the moment, so that if it's an F1 weekend, you've got it on the Friday and the Monday. You know, and then Cricket Captain will be doing the same, 2 episodes a week. FM18's out in a few weeks, so that'll be becoming daily content for a little while. FIFA's out at the moment, and hopefully that's going well on the channel. I'm recording it before I've actually got it, so yeah, hopefully it's going well, and yeah, there's plenty of videos of that out on the channel. So basically what I'm saying is F1 will still be continuing. We will be finishing Season 1 at the very least, and hopefully doing a Season 2 as well. I'm really enjoying F1 at the moment, and hopefully we can go into a Season 2. Stuff like the retro games and the crime night, that'll be back when I've got a bit more free time. They are sort of series that don't necessarily do the best in terms of views, and are sort of more for my enjoyment rather than anything YouTube wise. So, you know, while I haven't got much time, those ones will sort of take a backseat. So if you're a fan of those games, I'm very sorry, but they won't be back till maybe Christmas time, or, you know, depending how much free time I have. I haven't actually started uni yet as I'm recording this, so maybe I'll have a lot more free time than I'm expecting to. But yeah, today's race, we're starting in second. If we can get off to a good start, we might be able to do something. But Kimi Räikkönen's pace in the last episode was just horrifically good, so yeah, I'm not expecting too much, to say the least. But you know, we're starting from second on the grid, just like in Italy. As long as we get off to a good start, we should be fine. We've got Magnussen and then the 2 McLarens behind us, so we've got some decent blockers. So we could be on for a 4th consecutive podium, which is unbelievable, to be honest with you. Yeah, looking forward to this race. Hopefully it should be a good one. I do enjoy Japan, so yeah, I'm hoping to do really well here. Nico Hulkenberg in 9th as well, and with the slower cars behind us, hopefully he can do well. Lights out, away we go here in Japan. We're off the line a little bit sluggishly, and Fernando Alonso off to a good start. We've managed to cover Magnussen as we go into turn 1, and Räikkönen has sort of pulled away already in the lead. After turn 1, he's trying to get back into the championship battle, of course. Hamilton in 6th place, the championship leader at the moment. If Räikkönen can win the race and Hamilton finishes in 6th, then 35-point deficit certainly looks a lot sweeter, more like an 18-point deficit, I think. So definitely worth the Grand Prix victory today for Kimi Räikkönen. We go a little bit wide there. Fernando Alonso currently in 3rd place in the McLaren at the moment. It's feeling like Singapore all of a sudden in real life, but no. Good start for us. We're in 2nd place, just holding on to the position. We should be absolutely fine staying ahead of Fernando Alonso. He seems to have broke whoever's behind him. I'm assuming it's either Magnussen or Van Dorn. And once Hamilton gets through, you'll expect him to probably move up to 2nd place. So all of a sudden, Kimi Räikkönen's hard work not necessarily paying off, but no, I'd be very happy with another podium finish. And just pushing on in the championship. We can still finish in 5th place. I don't think we're going to get close to that really, but yeah, we can always try. We've already lost 2.3 seconds to Kimi Räikkönen on that opening lap. We've broke the 1 second window to Fernando Alonso, so hopefully in this lap we'll be able to push on just a little bit more. How's the fuel looking? Still got half a lap over, so we're going to move that down to standard just for now, and settle into the race through these S's. Fernando Alonso obviously using the power of the McLaren chassis to catch up a little bit. We didn't really nail that section, and you know, Fernando Alonso on our gearbox now, but you wouldn't expect Fernando to cause too much of a threat. Oh, we hit the grass a little bit, but starting to settle into the race. Lap 2, and yeah, maybe another podium's on the cards.
Don't forget, pit in this lap.
Well, Fernando Alonso is stuck with us for this first stint. I don't really know how, but we're going to come into the pits this lap and change tyres, and hopefully do something good. And we're in. That was on the limit, but fine. Yeah, decent first stint there.
Go, go, go.
And we're away in 2.6 seconds. Starting to make a habit of that, aren't we? But no, we'll come back out in clean air, which is good. Ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who's obviously been struggling to get past Fernando Alonso and Stoffel Van Dorn. Already the car feels a hell of a lot better with the fresh rubber, and yeah, I'm starting to feel like that those tyres were a little bit off. Well, we go a little bit wide around Spoon Curve, and now Lewis Hamilton is right behind us, and he'll be looking to make a move up into 130i. He's having a look down the inside. This is going to be intense. It's reminders of Schumacher and Alonso here. We managed to hold it dead flat round the outside. That was brave from both of us there. Hamilton just about backing out in the end of it, but surely he's going to pass us on this next straight. We've already passed Fernando Alonso in the pits. That was his teammate Stoffel Van Dorn. Here comes Lewis Hamilton down the inside. There's nothing really we can do about it. We just have to hope for a lock-up. But we've got Valtteri Bottas right behind us now. We hit the grass and he's through, so I think that's our podium chance gone. But the two Mercedes cars have powered their way through the field, and now they'll go on a charge after Kimi Räikkönen. Obviously they're both in the championship battle, only a point between Hamilton and Bottas, so this is a very, very important race for them too, and we don't really want to get involved in that. Well, look at this, the two Mercedes battling up ahead, and there was a big train. I tell you what, that was very, very close to being very ugly there. I don't know who the car ahead of Hamilton is. It looks like it might be a Force India, so they're going to have decent straight line speed, but certainly allowing us to catch up again. Esteban Ocon it is, so yeah, I'm assuming these are the people that started on soft tyres that are just up ahead, and they're really, really holding up Hamilton and Bottas and allowing us to catch up. And all the while they're losing ground to Kimi Räikkönen, who's just ran away with this race. We're going to have a little look at Valtteri Bottas. We're getting back involved in this championship fight, and they'll be getting a little bit annoyed by Esteban Ocon up ahead. Surprised that he hasn't moved out the way just yet, but no, it's very, very interesting at this stage. And there's a Sauber up ahead of them as we go wide again through Spoon Curve. It's not been a good corner for us today. Hamilton having a look down the inside of Ocon through 130R. This is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Look at this. They're going side by side. Hamilton's through. Bottas is trying to get through. The side by side. This is exciting racing. We're getting involved now. Ocon's into the pits. And, well, we're through up to 8th now. There's probably a couple more people in the pit, so we're up to 6th. And goodness me, that was putting the bit between the teeth there. That was very, very, very close. And Hamilton's managed to get the break on us now. He's past Verline. So we're going to have to try and get past him. Can we get past Bottas in the process? We're right in his gearbox. We're sort of having a look around the outside. We had a little bit more grip around there than... Oh, wow. That was close. That was too close. Bottas going wide. Let's have a look on the replay there what happened, because I had the look left thing on, but that was very, very close. We're coming up through the S's. As you see, we had a little bit more grip there, and then Bottas goes wide and onto the gravel, and we just follow him. It's just I guess instinct to follow the car in front, and yeah, that's what's happened there. Bottas went wide, we went wide as well, but the result is we both lose time on Pascal Wehrlein up ahead. So it was the two Mercedes proteges who were getting in the way of the two Mercedes teammates, and Bottas will be sizzling under that helmet. So now Bottas does what his teammate Lewis Hamilton did before. He goes up the inside of Pascal Wehrlein through 130R, and I think he's through. He is, and there's no way Pascal Wehrlein's going to do anything else, and he actually comes into the pits on that lap. So that's it now. We're up to 4th, and that's probably our limit in this race unless there's a retirement up ahead. So Bottas and Hamilton finishing 2nd and 3rd is really not good for Kimi Räikkönen in his battle for the championship, but we've got 4 laps to go here and still a lot can change. Well, we're into P2. Hamilton's pitted. I don't know why Lewis Hamilton is pitted, because that's a 2-stop strategy for him now, so we do have a chance of a 4th consecutive podium here. I really wasn't expecting this, but Lewis Hamilton has made a big mistake there. Now Valtteri Bottas will be clapping his hands, because he's going to take the lead of the championship here, because I don't know why Lewis Hamilton's done that. Why didn't he just try and hang on? I can only imagine he had a puncture or something like that, and he's been forced to come into the pits. I'm assuming nobody else is going to make that same mistake. We've got Magnussen now into P4, which is absolutely crazy. I think Nico Hulkenberg is something like P5 or P6, so what a crazy race here, and why has Hamilton done that?
5.9 seconds.
So we're on the final lap of the race. Nobody else came into the pits, funnily enough. Vettel has passed Magnussen for 4th place, so he's going to be gaining out of this as well. And I tell you what, Lewis Hamilton, wow, what a decision. And it's really thrown the title race open again, because Kimi Räikkönen will only be, how many points behind? 26 or something like that, and Vettel will be closing in. Hamilton will be pretty much out of it. He'll be sort of where Vettel is in the championship, although we go massively wide there, and Sebastian Vettel is catching up to us, so we could even lose this podium spot. Tyre wear has just been atrocious this weekend. I don't know really why. I guess, you know, you're putting a lot of work on the tyres, but I don't know who's slowing down. I assume it's nothing that's going to affect us. Kimi Räikkönen has won the Grand Prix. He's led from start to finish. He's been absolutely brilliant these last 2 races, and he really wants to win his 2nd World Championship. There's a yellow flag behind us. Oh, it is. What's happened to Bottas? What's happened to Bottas? We're in a 2nd. What has happened there? Bottas has had a last turn incident. I really don't know what's happened there. But he's gone off, and that's that. Goodness me, what has happened here? This is just absolutely crazy what's happened in this race.
Performance from Ferrari, it hardly looked in doubt. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, it's got to be Felipe Massa, hasn't it? He fought so hard and had incredible pace at times. I don't think anyone did a better job today.
On to the constructors then. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
I just can't believe that. Valtteri Bottas at the end there. Shall we have a look at the replay? I don't know how long it'll take. No. You know, while we do this and just go forward. Yeah, what a crazy race, and 4 consecutive podiums now, 2 consecutive second place finishes. Absolutely unbelievable scenes at the end of this season. I can't quite believe it, to be honest with you. Is there any way to move on laps? I don't think there is, so we'll just keep going. I think this is sort of lap 4 anyway, so yeah, we'll get through it eventually. But yeah, what do you guys think happened to Bottas? Was it him that had the problem, or did he just go wide and have a terrible time of it through that corner? I really don't know. But that'll really help us in the championship. We might have went up to 5th place, but Bottas leading the championship, I assume, by 14 points now. Vettel will be up there. Hamilton will be up there as well. But he didn't finish inside the points. That's really disappointing. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why he did that. So yeah, you can see some of the battles that we had throughout the race with the Mercedes cars. That was pretty cool. And yeah, we just want to get towards the end of this race and see what exactly happened to Bottas. You know, what did happen? What did happen? I think I'll just see you guys when we get there. So this is the last lap, guys, with Bottas. We'll run with him from sort of spoon curve onwards, and he had a puncture. Oh, he got a puncture. Wow. That's an awful thing to happen on the last lap, and yeah, he did well to get where he did. Obviously, he just went straight on there, managed to get back on the track, and all you're thinking now is get it up to the finish line, but he's struggling with initial acceleration and for some reason drives off the track, and then we come through. You'll see any time now, and somehow Vettel didn't pass him as... Whoa, that was close. That was very close. Let's just run this up to the line here. Vettel did finish ahead of Bottas, unless it's measured from... No, because that's the DRS line. So Vettel overtook Bottas on the line. We've got conclusive evidence here that Vettel crossed the line before Bottas. Let's just have a look on his actual cockpit cam view. So he was P2, P3. Did he go down? He didn't go down to P4. But how? How did he not? Because, yeah, Vettel did pass him. How very controversial. You can clearly see that Bottas is behind. Vettel finished P4. P3. What has happened there? Vettel didn't have a penalty or anything, but no, with that little bit of controversy at the end there, what's your view on it? If you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does mean a lot for me and for the channel, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.